almost delicate in his expensive tailored suit. His dark hair was cut close to his head, and his features were finely chiseled. One glance in his black eyes, however, warned even the most thick-skulled creature not to screw with this male. The temperature dropped by several degrees, but Ulric was accustomed to a chill in the air. He'd been with this vampire for over 5 centuries, ever since Chiron had rescued him from the slave pits beneath the previous king of vampires' lair. The old Anaso had been addicted to blood that was tainted by alcohol and drugs, secretly holding humans and demons in dark caves to feed his nasty habit. Chiron had desperately tried to reveal the Anaso's treachery, only to have his own master, Tarak, disappear and Chiron's clan vanished. Chiron had rescued Ulric, and together they'd fled. For several decades, they'd simply drifted from one place to another, both needing time to heal the wounds inflicted by the previous Anaso. Then, on a dare from Ulric, Chiron had established his first gambling club. It had been an instant success, and Dreamscape Resorts had been born. Ulric loved the challenge. Chiron concentrated on the style and finances of the business, while Ulric dealt with the vast staff. Chiron had given him a purpose to keep living, along with a sense of pack. But in the past 3 months, everything had changed. Ulric didn't deal well with change, probably because it always sucked. Easily sensing the strange agitation that boiled inside Ulric, Chiron tilted his head to the side.
"Everything okay?"
the vampire asked. Ulric shrugged even as the question pressed against his raw nerves. Was everything okay? It should be. He had money, security, females if he wanted them, and a master who was as close to him as any brother. So why did he feel like a dark cloud was forming just over the horizon? It was just the recent upheavals, he fiercely reminded himself. Chiron was mated to a witch named Lila. Tarak was released from his prison, and the new Anaso, Styx, made a habit of traveling to Vegas. No doubt out of guilt that he'd refused to believe Chiron when he'd claimed the former king of vampires was a wackadoodle. Ulric trusted Chiron. Period. As far as he was concerned, the rest of the leeches could sink back into the netherworld they'd crawled out of. It was no wonder he was feeling a little antsy.
"Everything's better now that I had a chance to get out and stretch my legs,"
he assured his companion. Chiron studied him for a beat, obviously aware that Ulric was hiding something from him. Then he shrugged. He knew Ulric wasn't a touchy-feely, share-every-emotion sort of dude. He was a growly, bitey, dangerously rabid sort of dude. He'd talk when he wanted to talk.
"I don't think I've thanked you for taking care of things while I enjoyed my honeymoon,"
Chiron said, smoothly changing the direction of the conversation.
"It's what brothers do. Not all brothers."
Chiron reached out his hand to lay it on Ulric's shoulder.
"I appreciate your loyalty, Ulric, even when I forget to tell you."
Ulric felt heat crawl beneath his skin as he cleared his throat. Clearly, being mated was making the vampire all mushy. It was unnerving.
"How's Lila settling in?"
Ulric asked, knowing it was the easiest way to distract his companion. Chiron's features softened, even as he released a rueful chuckle.
"She's already making notes on how we can streamline our check-in process and more efficiently schedule the maid service. Plus, she has stacks of decorating magazines she's been thumbing through. I have a terrible fear we're in for a complete remodel."
Ulric smiled. He liked Lila. He truly did. And she'd proven to be more than just a mate for Chiron. She had managed her own hotel for centuries. She was the perfect partner.
"If you wanted a mate who was happy fading into the background, you picked the wrong witch," he teased. "True enough,"
Chiron readily agreed, a sappy expression on his face as he glanced toward a nearby elevator that led to his lair. No doubt Lila was already down there, waiting for him to join her. Ulric paused, then spoke the words that had been on his mind since Chiron's return to Vegas.
"You know, now that you have Lila to be your partner, it might be time for me to consider—" "Stop right there," Chiron commanded. "Why? No one's moving anywhere," he informed Ulric, a hint of fang showing. "We started this journey together, and as far as I'm concerned, we're going to finish it together. We're family."
He narrowed his eyes.
"You got it?"
Ulric held up his hand. He hadn't expected such a fierce reaction.
"Yeah, I got it." "Good."
Chiron made a visible effort to soothe his flare of temper.
"I'm headed to my lair. We'll talk more."